Hello friends. I've been thinking about making this video because I realized that there are so many people following my journey from different chapters of my life. Some of you know me as Kelly the Star. Some of you know me from the restaurant industry. And some of you have known me since high school, and some since I was a little girl. And some of you have only recently found me through social media. And I've realized that many of you have been watching what's happening in my life and wondering the same question. What happened? Yes, I typed a script up. How did someone who is working, building a business, helping other people heal, and chasing her dreams suddenly end up talking about PTSD, treatment programs, stress-induced anorexia, and rebuilding her life from the ground up? The answer isn't simple. And honestly, I'm still discovering parts of it myself. Several years ago, I experienced trauma that affected me in ways I didn't understand at the time. My nervous system became stuck in survival mode. I lived in fight, flight, freeze, and fawn without even knowing those words existed. My body carried stress in ways I couldn't explain. Eventually, that stress began affecting my ability to eat, and my health declined. My world became smaller, and for a long time, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was really scared. Thankfully, people helped me find the right support. It was then that I learned about trauma, I learned about the nervous system, and I learned about healing. You should see Lady, her little foot's here. I learned that sometimes our bodies hold on to experiences long after our minds think that we've moved on. And little by little, I got better. Not a little better, but a lot better. For 6 years, I lived a beautiful life. I worked hard. I built a career. I laughed. I traveled a little. I adopted Lady. Here's Lady. Say hi. I adopted Lady, and later I adopted Birdie. I made friends. I started a spiritual business, and I fell in love with life again. And in fact, I fell in love with myself. I'm pretty badass. I truly believe that that chapter was behind me. Then last year, something happened that reawakened those old trauma responses. And suddenly I found myself experiencing symptoms I never thought I would experience again. I was shocked. I was angry, confused. How could I have healed so much and still end up back here? But healing has taught me something really important. Healing is not about never struggling again. Okay, I could do this. Healing is about knowing what to do when you do. This time I recognized that, what was happening. This time I understood my body isn't betraying me. This time I understood my nervous system is asking for safety. And while that doesn't make the journey easy, it makes it possible. At the same time all of this was happening, it felt like every area of my life was changing. Relationships changed, living situations changed, career plans changed, family dynamics changed, and my dreams changed. Everything I thought was permanent suddenly felt temporary. As a tarot reader, there is one card that followed me everywhere this past year. The Tower. I've pulled it over and over again. People are often afraid of the Tower card. They think it means disaster. I don't. The Tower represents the collapse of structures that can no longer support the life we're meant to build. It is uncomfortable, it is painful, but it's also necessary. The Tower clears away what is unstable so something stronger can take its place. And honestly, that's exactly what this year has felt like. One giant tower moment. Many of you also saw the photos of the damage to my vintage collection. And some people might look at those pictures and think, it's just stuff. I understand why they might think that. But those pieces weren't just objects to me. I've been collecting since I was a teenager. I'm 47 now. Some of those treasures had been with me for over 30 years. They followed me through different homes, different states, different jobs. different relationships, and different versions of myself. Some of those pieces were there while my daughters were growing up. And that's kind of all I got left of that. They sat quietly in the background of birthdays, holidays, family dinners, movie nights, and ordinary moments that became treasured memories. When I look at those broken pieces, I realized I wasn't grieving antiques. I was grieving time. I was grieving memories. I was grieving chapters of my life that I felt I could never revisit. For a moment, it felt like some of the last physical reminders of those years had been taken away. Oh my God, I'm a mess. But as I sat with that loss, I realized something. Those memories were never inside the objects. The memories are inside of me. The love is still there. The lessons are still here. The mother I was is still here. And nothing could take that away. And maybe that is part of what the tower has been trying to teach me all along. Maybe life has been asking me to loosen my grip, to trust, to release, to stop carrying everything, to stop believing that I have to hold on to every object, every relationship, every role, every version of myself in order for these things to remain meaningful. One of the most beautiful lessons of this chapter has been learning about chosen family. For most of my life, I thought family was I thought family was something you're born into. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry about your blanket, lady. Now I understand that family can also be the people who show up, the people who stay, the people who love you through your healing, the people who sit beside you when everything else feels uncertain. I've met incredible people this year and last year and the year before that. People who become like daughters, people become like sisters, people who become like family, people who have become family. And that has been one of the most unexpected gifts inside of all of this loss. There is a song lyric that has stayed with me lately. I'm still fine. Not because everything is fine, because it isn't. Some days are incredibly hard. Some days I'm scared. Some days I cry. And some days I don't exactly know what's going to come next. But underneath all of that, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still healing. I'm still growing. And somehow, despite everything that has fallen away, I'm still fine. Maybe not the same. Maybe not who I was. But perhaps becoming who I'm meant to be. Today I'm choosing faith. Faith that healing is possible. Faith that this chapter won't last forever. Faith that what leaves creates space. Faith that what is meant for me will find me. And, faith that is what is meant for me won't pass me by. Faith that one day I will look back on this season and understand why everything had to change. I'm such a mess. I'm so sorry. And if you're watching this while going through your own tower moment, please hear me when I say this. You do not have to have all the answers. You don't have to know what comes next. You do not have to rebuild your entire life today. You only have to take the next step, and then the next one, and then the next. That's what I'm doing, one day at a time, one meal at a time, one healing moment at a time, one act of faith at a time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for cheering me on. Thank you for reminding me that even in the hardest seasons, there's still beauty, still hope, still love. And thank you for walking beside me while I build whatever comes next. Lady, and I love you so much, and Birdie does too. And we miss her immensely. Okay, that is the end of this video. Lady, smile so we have a normal looking still frame at the end. Oh, your eyes creepy. Okay.